Hello, welcome to Neo Non-Believer. Every time the theme song of my favorite TV show comes on, I cannot help but sing along. It goes something like Math, Science, History, unraveling the mystery that all started with the Big Bang. As catchy as it sounds, have you ever wondered what it actually means from a philosophical standpoint? Well, one of the many implications is that nothing existed before the Big Bang. It also raises questions like, if the Big Bang caused everything, what caused the Big Bang? And this right here is the go-to argument used by the proponents of theism when they have nothing else to hide behind. They go so far as to say that if the first cause cannot be explained, then the entire cause and effect principle is a leap of faith, no less than the leap of faith taken by them when they believe in their personal God. So, the purpose of this video is to try to reason through why I think their argument is flawed. Ready? Let's dive in. Now, we know that logic is a fundamental tool for every field of study, and we have established our faith in logic, which we cannot ignore now. Our aim is to be consistent with our laws and logics, and sometimes in order to be consistent with them, we have to discard certain assertions and assumptions. We have to say we don't know beyond that yet. Even then, we can be wrong. The worst case scenario would be that our very basic laws and rules that we take for granted are wrong. Then, everything that we have built on top of that is bound to be not true. For example, E equal MC squared would be incorrect if F equal MA is incorrect. Despite this, we have no other way but to believe that our conclusions are right as long as they are all consistent. Now, as a result of human imagination and curiosity, we sometimes touch the boundaries of what we can perceive. Our sensory perception and logical conclusion cannot fathom what is beyond. And it is that point when some people withhold their further conclusion and wait for more information, and others succumb to the desire for answers and conclude that there ought to be free will, or God, or Santa Claus for that matter. Let me explain this with a thought experiment that I call the God's dog. And it goes like this. Imagine if there is a dog in my room. I would say that it entered via the door of the room, and before that it must have passed through the hallway, and finally conclude that it must have entered via the main gate of the house. And I would say that I don't know what was the locus of the dog before it entered the main gate of the house. Now, one cannot argue that if I am taking a leap of faith, it entered via the main gate. Why can't I take a leap of faith that it just appeared out of nothing in my room itself? First of all, it is not a leap of faith that it must have entered via the main gate. And second, to hint that it might have appeared out of nowhere in my room is irrational. My conclusion here is consistent with the laws that are fundamental to our understanding. And to conclude that the dog appeared out of nowhere in my room would be inconsistent with reality as we know it, and hence wrong. And that is why I say that it is a natural conclusion that cause and effect is ultimate reality. Because one, nothing has contradicted it so far, and second, it explains everything. And yes, we don't know what caused the Big Bang, but it is not like cause and effect is not able to explain it. The problem is, so far we know very little about the beginning of the universe, which is why even cause and effect is not able to explain it. I hope you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.